This is section 4.4, and we're talking about factoring complex trinomials. So, the process with which you do complex trinomials is exactly the same as simple trinomials. The only difference is, in the simple trinomials, a was always 1 for us. Now, this time, that's not going to be the case. A is going to be any number now, okay? But the process with which I do this problem is the same exact thing. I'm going to multiply A by C, okay? A times C, then I'm going to find factors of A times C that add to the middle term B. The process, again, is still the same. When I find those two numbers, I'm going to replace those two numbers with the two factors that I had. Going to get 4 terms, and now I'm going to factor by grouping. Okay. Reminder: x squared can never be negative. Okay. If it's negative, you got to factor out that -1 first every time. Okay. Let's look at some examples. So first thing I want to do here: every time identify A. Identify A, B, and C in every problem. So in this case, A is 2, B is 11, and C is 12. Again, so if you remember, we're trying to find factors of, in this case, 12 times 2, which in this case is 24. So I need two numbers that multiply to be 24, but they add to be 11. Okay, well, my factors of 24, again, I've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Which pair will add up to be 11? Well, that's 3 and 8. Okay, so factors of 24 that add up to be 11 are 3 and 8. So what I'm going to do again is replace my middle term with a 3x and an 8x. And so from here, I'm going to put parentheses first 2 and last 2. First two numbers that go into 2 and 3, okay, there is none. So all I'm going to do is take out an x here. So 2 divided by 1 is 2. 2 x's, took away 1, only have 1 left. 3 divided by 1 is 3. Had an x, they took it from me, so I don't have it anymore. Biggest number that goes into 8 and 12 is 4. Okay, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Had an x, and they didn't take it, so I still have it there. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so they have a 2x plus 3 in common, and an x plus 4 left over. So again, you'll see that the process is still the same with how you do this problem. The only difference is now that there's a number in front of x squared. So you're going to actually have to multiply two numbers together to get your first value. Remember, that's C, that's A. I got to multiply those two together. That's how I came up with 24. Okay, I want to go through one more example, and that's example number 7 here. The reason I'm going through this one is because it has a negative first. And if you remember, we can't have an A value that's got a negative in front of it, so I got to take out a -1. By taking out a -1, it's going to make the 6m squared go from negative to positive. Going to make the 7m go from negative to positive. And it's going to make the 90 go from positive to negative. And then I circle this guy and draw my arrow to the end. Okay, so now my A is 6, my B is 7, and my C is -90. So I am finding factors of, I'm going to take -90 times 6. -90 times 6 is -540. Now, I know that's a really large number, okay? So I need to find factors of negative 540 that add up to be 7. Well, my two numbers are 27 and 20. Okay, so now what I got to figure out is which one's going to be negative. Well, this number down here is positive, so I need the bigger number to be positive. So in this case, 20 is going to be negative. And I'm going to put these two in for the 6m. So it's going to be in for the 7. I've got a 27m minus a 20m. Bring down the negative 90. Bring down the 6m squared. Group them. First two, last two. Biggest number that goes into 6 and 27 is 3, and I got to take out an m. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Had two m's, took one away, so I still have one left. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Had an m, they took it from me. The biggest number that goes into 20 and 90 is 10. So negative 20 divided by negative 10 is positive 2. Had an m, didn't take it. Negative 90 divided by negative 10 is positive 9. So I have a 2m plus 9 in common and a 3m minus 10 on the outside of the parentheses. And the one thing I can't forget is my negative 1. Okay, so again, these examples are not really any different than what you did when A was 1. It's the same process, except sometimes your numbers are going to be a little bit bigger than you're used to. So you want to make sure you use your multiplication chart, use your GCD on your calculator, use those options there for you to help be successful. Okay, you should be able to complete the class cake examples on the next 2 pages.